So we've just come off the PlayStation State of Play for July 2021, and the star of the show was easily Deathloop, and PlayStation knew this. It took up a full 30% of the entire thing, and to be honest, it deserved it. The rest of the game, there was the odd good one, but most of it didn't hold a candle to what was Deathloop, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Deathloop is essentially where you're stuck in a time loop for a day, and you've got to kill 8 targets to end the time loop. Now, 7 of these you go out and hunt, and they're in a similar style to what would be Hitman, where they have each area has its own story that plays out over the course of the day, whether you're there or not. And although there are places where you can influence this, learning that is part of the loop, and you only have to go through this, obviously, 8 times to find out. If you fail to kill all of them, or if they kill you, then you will reset the loop and have to go through it all over again. And this actually introduces a roguelite element as you actually build up weapons and abilities over the course of these loops from resources that you find around the map. Now, one of the issues is that the 8th person is Julia, and she will actually hunt you down herself. And this can come in the form of an invasion from another player, adding in a multiplayer aspect. So you can actually have players coming into your game to hunt you down while you're trying to achieve these AI kills. Or indeed, you can turn this off and just have an AI hunting you. Now, overall, the game looks really interesting to me. I think it has a great setting. I love time loops and that kind of story. And the guns look interesting. And it seems to be largely a sort of basic shooter. You just have guns, a load of tools that range from teleports to mind controls, grenades, all kinds of stuff like that. You can link people together so that when one dies, another dies. And all this will be very familiar if you've ever played Dishonored. Obviously, it's from Arcane, who made Dishonored. So the combat and the style seems very familiar, and it actually reminds me a lot of some very early shooters we'd have in sort of the late 90s, early 2000s. I always liked those kind of things. You basically just have hordes of enemies around, and you get to take them out using the abilities and guns that you have. There's not much to it, but it's just fun. They just give you a huge play box and give you the tools and just say, go ahead, cause chaos. And as long as you can make the game satisfying, as long as the weapons feel satisfying to use and the abilities allow you to set up sort of these cool gameplay moments, I think this can be amazing. Merging Hitman with this kind of a style and the whole time loop story element of it, I think is a great idea. It's got all the premise and the potential to be an amazing game. The only thing that holds me back is the AI. It just doesn't look very good. Now, in the trailer, admittedly, this is beta gameplay, and so they could improve this. They could have it on a lower difficulty. It could be set up just so they can do certain plays in the trailer to make it look cool. So I understand you can't really judge it by this. This is something that I'll have to wait until the game is released before I can judge properly. But there were literally parts of it where they lobbed a grenade onto a person, and the person didn't react. He's like literally yeeted a grenade from like 30 meters away onto his crotch. It grabbed hold of it and stuck to him, and he's just standing there. Seriously, I kind of expect more from my games. One of the fun things about these is it's not just using your guns and skills in cooperation in order to handle a load of enemies. It really is the fact that the enemies have to be hard. If you're going to be in this situation where you're going to loop back, and you can get a skill so you can actually die twice before you restart the entire game again, part of the fun is the danger. And that means that these enemies are going to have to be intelligent. They're going to have to be difficult. Otherwise, where's the challenge? I don't just want to go up against 50 enemies and feel no risk because they literally can stand across the room and stare at me and not react. But if they can nail that, I think this could be a really, really fun game. Now, Dishonored was more of a stealth game, which isn't really my thing, but this being more of an action shooter is definitely something I'm interested in. And so when you merge everything together, you've got the time loop element, which I like. You've got the sheer amount of guns, huge enemies, and you just say, right, go through, kill these people, survive, wade through as many people as possible, and get stuff done before this person hunts you down and ends your day. It seems like a great story, a great setup, and as long as Arcane can carry through with the more complex stuff, if they can nail the difficulty, if they can nail the AI, if the stories that they make are deep enough, complex enough to actually need you to go through and play them multiple times to learn the entire story, then I'm all for this game. As far as I'm concerned, this will be a game that sinks or swims for me on the deeper elements of the game, which we really won't know until launch. But if they do manage to nail that, if they manage to make each section unique and complex, requiring multiple playthroughs, if they nail the AI, if they make everything satisfying, while also giving you that sort of power trip of just being able to take on this many people, of going through a difficult challenge but nailing every single move, every single teleport, every single shot to get everything perfect and pull off some amazing set pieces, then this could be one hell of a game. Or if they fail just those few aspects, they could very easily be left with nothing more than a shallow, dull, repetitive shooter. So they really are walking a tightrope of quality. So Arcane pulled it off with Dishonored, and just for entertainment and fun's sake, I really hope they manage to achieve that again in Deathloop. Well, that's it from me. If you liked the video, press like and subscribe for more videos in the future. Let me know what you thought of Deathloop down below, and the rest of PlayStation's State of Play. What do you think of the other games? I wasn't too impressed myself, but if you liked any of them, what was your favorite? Let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.